So obviously, hot stretch for you. What do you feel like is going right for you at the plate?
I just feel really comfortable and like confident. I feel like this is the most comfortable and confident I've been in a while. And I just have the mentality of like passing the bat to the next girl. So I think I'm just doing everything I can to compete in the box as much as I can. So
What do you think brings that level of comfortability?
I feel like I'm very comfortable right now just because I know if I don't get it done, like my teammate behind me will, or the teammate ahead of me, or someone off the bench. Like I know like our whole offense will get it done. I don't ever have a doubt. So I feel like that makes me comfortable and doesn't put too much pressure on me. So I feel just like I can relax in the box and just do my thing and whatever happens, happens.
Do you think that comes from just more experience and being more settled, or do you attribute that to perhaps the off season where everyone really put in a lot of work and that's kind of paying off now?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like I think like I feel very settled where I am right now. Like obviously, like I want to continue to get better and like I keep working very hard, but I feel like I have so many years under my belt now and I have so many like at bats and I've seen so many pitchers that I feel really confident in the box going in and knowing like I've seen a pitcher like this before. And then with like my teammates, like the amount of work that we put in is crazy. Like our team is a very hardworking team, and like you can see that like throughout our whole lineup. Like we can count on like every single girl that hits on our lineup to come through in any type of moment. So everything is just feeling comfortable right now.
Around this time last year, you won the D1 Player of the Week. Now you're on this tear. Is there a certain thing about this time of the year that just makes you feel comfortable at the plate?
I don't know. I think it's just like preseason challenges you because you're finally back into games after however many months it's been since the last time we played, like in Arkansas. And it's just, it challenges you and it gets you comfortable at the same time. And I think like it helps you like settle in. And that's why I feel like March is a great time like for all of us, I think, because we're just like feeling more settled. We've played all these games in preseason and now we're ready for PAC and we're just like looking forward. So I don't know. Yeah, I think just the timing of everything is just comfortable in March.
How narrow is the margin from like a year ago up against Pac-12 pitching? And all right, you played one series this year, but you played a really tough non-conference schedule too. So that caliber of pitching, where if it was harder for you last year and now you're off to much more successful so far, just how different, how narrow is that margin of difference of just either fraction of a second of a swing or mechanics or picking up the ball differently? Just how small a difference is it?
I think the amount of at-bats that I had last year was more than anything else. So I think I had a lot of film that I was able to watch like in the off season with Coach Martyr and stuff and work on my own swing and see exactly like what I need to do over summer and then during the fall. And I think just small mechanics that I've been able to work on has also made me more confident because I know I can get to a ball a little quicker now or I can get to a certain pitch a little better. So I think like those small little mechanics like play a huge role in like my swing, and working with Coach Martyr helps me tremendously.
How much have you played in the corner outfield before this year? I'm trying to remember now.
My freshman year, right before COVID, I played a lot in right and left, and then it's kind of been like sporadic throughout the rest of the years. I haven't really played that much, but I'm comfortable anywhere on the field. I feel like you guys have seen like I've played like basically everywhere, so I mean, I don't feel too uncomfortable anymore. I practice everywhere a lot, so.
Do you still consider catcher your home position, or?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the home opening series this weekend, or any weekend just in your career? First series back at home. What's your favorite part of it?
My favorite part is just having the Jane like packed. I think like Bunk said earlier was that in the previous years we haven't really been able to see it completely packed just because of COVID and everything like that. But I think now, like I've heard how many sold out crowds like we are gonna have and stuff like that. So I'm just excited for the energy at the Jane and all the stuff that goes along with it, like marketing and all that type of stuff. It just seems just like so much fun, and I'm so excited for that.
Speaking of the energy, you bring that on the road. I mean, players have said you're basically the the battery that keeps everyone kind of charged. How do you maintain that, on the road when there isn't any crowd to keep you going?
Yeah, I think I just have a lot of fun, like, playing. I feel like sometimes we can get lost in, like, trying a little too hard to win. Coach Reagan says it a lot. Like, we're just trying too hard to, like, get a hit, trying too hard to pitch the ball. Whereas just, like, let loose, have fun. Like, this is a game. And I feel like I do a really good job of that. Like, I just want to have fun because I'm here with my teammates. Like, I have 5 years. Most people only have 4. And, like, time is ticking. Like, I just want to make the most of it. So I think being able to be, like, the energy of the team, just everyone counts on me for that. And I love it because everyone else has a lot of energy when I have a lot of energy, so it's nice.
How do you keep the player, because yourself, you're in and out, you're kind of always prepared for whatever situation, kind of that utility knife, but not everybody else has that experience. I mean, they've always been kind of the primary player, and they come here and they're sitting on the bench waiting for their opportunities. How do you help get them in the right mindset to kind of be that role player and always ready at a moment's notice?
I think being able to lock in and lock out is really the challenge. Like, Coach Reagan has told us, like, you have to be able to lock in every single pitch, but you also have to be able to lock out and reset and then lock back in. Like, no one could stay fully locked in for the whole 2.5 hour, 3 hour game. Like, it's very draining, and you need to be able to find, like, a balance of, like, how do I lock into this game and give it my all, but how do I also, like, take a deep breath, give myself some time, maybe walk down the dugout, get a snack, just stuff like that. And I think that since I've been kind of doing this my whole career here, I have a lot of experience with how to handle, like, I know what it's like to be a starter, and I know, like, what it's like to not be a starter. And so I've been able to help everyone else kind of, it doesn't feel good when you're not starting, of course. We all want to start, but we all understand that, like, we still have a purpose. Like, we have a role for this team, and I think we do a really good job of accepting that role. Like, if my role is to be a pinch hitter at a game, like, I'm going to take that role and I'm going to run with it. Like, my at-bat is going to be the best at-bat you see all day because that is my one opportunity. And so just having us, like, remember that those opportunities are big for our team and they're necessary. And yeah, just remembering, like, we're all here and we all have a role. So
I was actually going to ask a follow-up question, but you kind of covered that. Given that there are 2 roles, but when you are coming up in those pitch hitting moments or, those relief moments, those are always big moments. I mean, you're coming in because they need that, whatever it is. Do you prefer kind of always being on the big stage doing those relief things, or would you prefer to kind of be a constant starter? If you could prefer, or if you had a choice one way or the other, which?
Yeah, I definitely would prefer, like, being a constant starter, because I feel like we all want to start, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I also take pride in, like, those at-bats that I have on the big stage, the big moment, and I don't take any of it for granted. Like, oh, well, this is my one at-bat today. Like, I don't ever think that. I always think, like, this is an opportunity for my team and they need me, and I'm going to perform how they need me to perform. So
you talked about fun, and where does that love of the game come from?
I don't know. I just knowing that I've grown up playing my whole life, and, like, this game has been my whole life. So I just have had fun playing it, and just, like, it's deeply rooted in my family and, like, my dad. Like, I had so much fun, like, with my dad when I was younger, being able to, after games, like, if I had a really good game, I'd go get a treat, or we used to play in the front yard. Like, it's just always been a game to me that was fun, and I tried never to let it get farther than it just being a game. Like, I still have an identity outside of softball, but I also, softball is my escape to have fun. Like, school is hard, like, life is hard, all this stuff. Like, I go home, I have a job, like, I'm like a normal person, but softball is just, I don't take it for granted ever. So I just have so much fun playing it.
So when you're in a situation like Friday night, when you're up in the 7th inning with 2 outs and runner in scoring position to tie the game, what is that mindset like?
That mindset, that whole game was a challenge back and forth. And I think that being able to come up in that moment was like, this is my time. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. It felt like we always talk about like the PAC series being like a regional or a super regional, playing a team 3 times, and it just felt like I was on a very big stage and I loved it. I felt like the star on the stage that got to do it and got to have fun doing it. And I don't know, just like pressure moments like that is where we're supposed to have the most fun. And sometimes we let those pressure moments get too big and we just get a little too overwhelmed. But I think like just like sitting back and saying like, this is why I'm playing. Like, me coming up big here is why I'm playing. Like, for my team, because we're all going to be excited, and it's just going to be like one of the best times like in our life, honestly, playing softball. So
how much does the home run, the at-bat prior against the same pitcher sort of bleed into the next at-bat and you're confident?
Oh, I was very confident. I feel like I was seeing her really well, and I feel like that's how it always is. Like, you have a big moment earlier in the game, and then it's up to you again. You have a lot of confidence because it's like, I was able to get it done before. I don't see why I can't get it done now. So I was really confident.
How much does sort of the approach change from at-bat to at-bat, where it was the home run, the at-bat prior, that's the bloop single to score the run and then at-bat?
I think my last at-bat, I was just like, it was 2 outs. I just needed to find a way on base. I needed to find a way to pass the bat, whereas earlier in the game, like, you're looking for runs, like big swings, like all this. Later in the game, our motto for that inning was pass the bat. Like, I want to give the bat to KK so she can handle it after me. And then after KK, it's on to the next. So I feel like I was just trying to get on base.